A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
What do you make of this breaking news? It is extraordinary. I think Trump has managed to do something that he, to be fair to him, had always marked out, which was he did not want Iran to have a nuclear program. But what's clear is in the last few weeks, he shifted ground on two issues. The first was he had started out in a position which was Iran can have some enrichment, just has to be monitored, things like that. He moved to what was essentially the Israeli position, which was zero enrichment. And he outlined that in the middle of about 2 weeks ago. The second is that he seemed to have lost faith that the Iranians were negotiating in earnest. And he seems to have gotten frustrated, because I think this was not his first option. His first option was a deal with the Iranians, but the maximalist condition he placed was with zero enrichment was one the Iranians didn't seem willing to go to, and I think he thought the Iranians were not negotiating earnestly. So the result is you have this extraordinary move, which almost certainly has destroyed almost all of Iran's enrichment. The question, however, is you still need diplomacy. You still need a political solution, because the Iranians can rebuild. Remember, this is a nation that has been pursuing nuclear energy for 70 years. The programs were first started under the Shah of Iran. They can rebuild. It will take them years. It will be difficult. So the best way to make sure that Iran stays non-nuclear would be now to have some kind of agreement. And President Trump seems to understand that, because the only part of that Truth Social post that's in all caps is, "Now is the time for peace." So he clearly still wants to make a deal. The Iranians don't have a lot of options, but that doesn't mean they will be ready or willing to very quickly make a deal. This is a very stubborn, nationalistic, prideful group of people, very ideological. So the key issue is now, how do they view this devastating setback? Do they say, look, let's accept finally the Israeli Trump condition, zero enrichment, or is this going to get their backs up?
Trump just finished addressing the nation after bombing 3 nuclear sites in Iran. And while he stood there talking about peace, here's what he didn't tell you. He never mentioned Congress, not once. That's because he didn't get approval. He didn't even notify them. This was a major military strike, and it was done completely without oversight. He called it a success, but gave us no real evidence. There was no intel briefing, no confirmation of what kind of threat Iran was actually posing, just vague talk about danger followed by bombs. He said Iran should choose peace or face worse. That's not de-escalation, that's a warning shot. He's framing this as a peaceful moment while holding a loaded weapon in the other hand. And the scariest part, he framed it like it was routine, like this was just what presidents do now, like they drop bombs, make threats, and leave Congress out of it. So no, this wasn't a peace move, this was an act of war, and Trump is hoping you'll just take his word for it. Don't.
It's time to speak up. For those of you who are saying we're overreacting, that this is not going to be an all-out war, have you not seen that Pakistan, China, and Russia are all siding with Iran right now? Are you not aware of that? What do you think this is? You think we can just go in and drop bombs with impunity? You really think that's what's going to happen? Pakistan has already said if we drop tactical nukes, which is still something that Trump is talking about, then they will respond in kind. And they have the ability to do so. And for those of you who think that this isn't going to affect us because they can't reach us, do you really think that there aren't Americans and American bases in those countries I just named? We have many bases all over the world that are within reach of missiles that we know these other countries are in possession of. They don't have to nuke us to hurt us, and they absolutely have the ability to do so. This is an illegal war. It is an idiotic war, and it is an unnecessary war. Ask yourself why this is happening, because it is not about Iran having nuclear weapons. We know they don't, because the Defense Department, Trump's own administration, has said that they don't. Think for a minute. People, stop and use your brains for just a minute about what is happening here. And while you're at it, go love your neighbor.
We have some major news. Iran is now threatening the United States following Donald Trump's attack of 3 nuclear facilities in the country. According to the New York Times, a news anchor said on Iranian state television, quote, "Mr. Trump, you started it and we will end it." The broadcast showed a large graphic of American bases in the Middle East with the headline, quote, "Within the fire range." The anchor said the United States had no legitimate place in the region. As we know, Iran has made it abundantly clear that if the United States were to attack them, that they would retaliate, likely targeting American military bases in the Middle East. We also know that there are around 40,000 American troops in the region that could theoretically be struck by Iran. And that is truly just terrifying. I, like many other Americans, will be keeping these troops in my thoughts tonight and hoping for their safety and security. Only time will tell.
Yemen has entered the war. Yemeni authorities have said, "We are officially entering the war. Keep your ships out of our waters or face the consequences." And just so there's no ambiguity, they are talking to the United States. And this is a good time to bring up the fact that the strikes on Iran were most likely useless. Iranian state media put a report out that said that they had already cleared out their stockpile from those 3 spots that we hit prior to the United States hitting it. Why? Because Donald Trump was on Timu Twitter just 2 days ago saying that we controlled the Iranian airspace and we have our best machines over there. And oh, by the way, we've been positioning American military aircraft carriers and troops in the Middle East for the past 3 to 5 days. So they knew this shit was coming. So this begs the question, did we just commit an act of war on behalf of Israel that accomplished abso-fucking-lutely nothing? And are we now on the verge of World War III because a president unilaterally made the decision to attack Iran for no fucking reason? Also, by the way, during his presidential address, he said that Iran was a huge threat to America, has been attacking American assets and a state sponsor of terrorism. If that's true, then why did we wait until Israel went to war with them before we did anything about this threat to America? It's very obvious about the timing of this attack that it had nothing to do with Iran being an actual threat to America and everything to do with us supporting Israel, which was made abundantly clear when the president ended his address with "God bless Israel." I wasn't sure if it was the United States president or the Israeli vice president giving that bullshit address.